This is the section pattern for a full head of woven highlights. To apply it so that you ensure you get enough coverage through the full head area. So first of all, we're going to look at the amount of hair the client's got. So if your client has got a good head of hair like this, I'm saying it's just like a medium density, almost thick. You can see there's a good bit of length through the layers and a good amount of hair. So if I wanted to ensure this client had a natural look, I'd want to make sure that my sections were kept quite fine, but also placed quite close together, so there's no big gaps in the sections either. If I wanted a more bolder effect, I would still take my sections fine in the actual slice section, but I would take my weave slightly bolder, so slightly thicker, to get a more defined strandy colour. But what I want to show you just now is just the section pattern in general, okay? So this is a doll's head, so we're going to go from the top of the head to the ear to the ear. So I'm going to put it to the side so you can see. So find the section from the ear. So I'm going to go top of the head, ear to ear. And just have this section clipped forward out the way just now, and we're going to do the same on the other side. So again, we're going to go from the top, find the ear, and make sure you've got a nice straight section. We'll just clip this section forward again, so it's out your way. Then we're going to go back again to the back of the head, and we're going to look at taking a section from top of the ear to the either side of the ear. So we're going to go to the top of the ear, and we're just going to go right along the head, right across in a horizontal section. So your section is going to meet in like so. So we're going to take this section now, and we're going to just clip it out the way. And then we're going to do another subsection, so from the nape to the middle. So we're going to make this section just straight along. And this way, it's a good idea when you're working. This is good for keeping yourself working neater as well, because you don't have to worry about the hair and disturbing other bits that are clipped up. So I'm going to just take that section out of the way and just again clip it in the middle. So we've now got the bottom section, so this is where we're going to start. So this section here, this is where you've got your starting point. So we're going to, that's your section just now, so we're going to split that in half for two sections. So it's your first section here, another section there. So this is your starting point. That's your first two sections. These sections here, you should be able to place a foil across the width. So you'll work one foil here, one there, one, and so forth till you come up to the top here. Your next section after that, we're going to take this middle section down, and we're going to split it into three sections. And these sections will be wide enough for your foil. Bearing in mind, the ones we're using in the college are quite narrow when you fold them in, so you want to make sure your foil will fit within the width there. And when you're folding it up, you're not pulling the hair into it. So we're going to take a section from the side, and we'll just, again, take that off. You can clip these into knots if you want. I'm just going to do this just now so you can see them. So you've got your middle section. Again, you'll see it's almost like a wee brickwork pattern going on there. So you've got the this section here, and then you've got another section. So you've got these sections to show you the pattern which to put them in to make sure you cover all the areas of the head. So you've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you'll put your one here, and so forth to come up to here. Then you'll work along in rows, so you have one in the middle, one at the side, either side. Same idea, as long as you make sure your foils can fit within that width. What you don't want to happen when you're taking your foils and you're folding them, you're pulling that hair into the side, because what will happen then is your colour will seep out and possibly bleed onto the scalp or the hair underneath. So your foil must be enough to be enclosed in. So if you've got wider foils, you could do this in 2, or if the head's narrower, you can do it in 2. It just really depends how much hair and the head size the client has and the size of your foils. So your next section, we're going to take this section here, and it's like a triangle section, just so that we can let you see how this is going to work. So we're going to split it from the middle of the section here, and we're just going to go up to make 2 triangles. So we're always going to go up right up to the middle of the head. So if you had a middle part and running right down the head. Okay, so this is your first section here. I'm just going to clip this out of the way so you can see. And this other section here. Again, same idea, you'll see how you've got your triangle going up here and into there. So just take that section out of the way so it's secured and you know where you're going. So you'll see the sections now. So you'll see how this section is like a triangle. The reason for this is so when you're putting your foils in, you're going to get right along here, so you're going to work up. As you come to towards the top of the section, your foils will get narrower, so you work up in a triangle section, so they'll be smaller coming to the top. So for making your sides in your top section, you're now going to take a section from, say, the middle of the eyebrow and up over there, and you're just going to take that bit of hair out of the way and push it over to the side. So it leaves you with your side section, and we can just clip this out of the way so you can see all the sections. And again, for the other side, you're going to do the same idea. You're going to look top of the eyebrow, middle of the eyebrow here, straight back. So you've got a rectangular shape on the top of the head that gives you your top section. So again, I'll just secure this one out of the way. And then we're going to your last section, your side here. Again, you've got your side section. So you could then, if you want, pin these sections up so you can actually see the full section patterns. So there's your side section there. So once you've got them in the place you want, you can just go in and then secure them so you know that they're not going to interfere with any other areas you're working on. And this lets you see the division of your sections. You can clearly see here. So realistically, you've only got 5 full sections because you've got the back, which is 1 section, middle here, 2 sections, the top's 3, and you've got 2 on the side. So you've got 5 altogether. I'm just breaking them into subsections so you can understand how to work together. And over time, when you're working, you won't have to do this every time, but at least you know the position in your foils. And this gives you an even balance of sections so that when you're working, you know exactly where you're placing your colour. So you've got your, starting at the nape, you've got 1, 2, so you work from the nape towards the section occipital bone, and you'll do fine woven sections horizontally, working up the head side to side. So you'll have 1, 1, 1, 1, and that way. Then you'll come to the sections here, and you've got 1 in the middle, and you've got 2 either side. So you'll work 1 in the middle, 1 to the side, 1 to the side, and so forth up towards the, just under the crown area, or the middle section here. When you come to there, you'll work from here, you'll go on again, horizontal sections, fine woven slices, working up, and your foils will get narrower when you come towards the points of the triangle. You can see there, that whole section, you see the triangular shape. So your foils will go in, but they'll get narrower as they come towards here. So it'll be like a wee triangular parcel when you come to that top bit there. Then you'll go from your sides, and you'll work in sections, starting off slightly diagonal. So you want to start that way, and working up the head a couple of sections in that way, and then start having your foils so they're coming straight. So when you come to the top, your foil will be the same line as that one here. So that's your top area there. So you're going to work slightly diagonal, pivoting so that it comes up straight. You do the same on the other side. And then when it comes to the top, you'll work your foils from the front. Now this is where you can decide if you want your client wants to see any highlights at the front. You can go heavier if you want to see a really full on effect, or if you want it to be when the client puts their hair back, not seeing a line, I would suggest you leave a fine wave of hair first and then start your weave, and then work back the head towards your last section from the crown area. What you must always remember is to make sure when you come to your last section, the top here, you want to ensure that you always leave space between this section and the last 2. So you're going to have 2 wee triangles here, and you're going to have a foil here. Always make sure there's some amount of hair left between. Otherwise, if a foil sits next to another foil, that in a sense makes a big area of colour. So you may end up with a splodgy, chunky bit of colour right over the crown. So it's really important you look at the crown when you're making sure your foil placement, because that's where the hair will part, and you'll see it more obvious as it grows out as well. So there we go. So you've got your foil section technique. So you're going to work the back section, recapping, 1, 2. You've got a middle section, it's 1, 2, 3. You've got the top section, like triangles, 1, 2. And your sides, other side, and then the top, and you will finish up here. There we have it.